I've got my right leg propped up on a chair, and this just makes it easier for me since I have an older child. You can also do this with your child laying down on the wrap. But I'm going to take the middle marker right here, drape it over my knee, and then I'm going to grab Harper and straddle her on my leg. Come here, baby. Oh, hi. 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 So this is Harper. She's 15 months old. Hi. She's going to go on my knee, straddle. That's your cookie. Yeah. And then I'm going to grab this top rail. And with a smaller baby, you want to take this to maybe put it to the back of the neck or even to the back of the ears. But since she's older and has good head-neck control, I'm going to go under her armpits. Alright, so I'm going to start with this side. I'm going to hold the top rail with both hands, and I'm going to switch it to my right hand. So that's holding her in place. And, I'm sorry, the left hand. And then I'm going to take all this fabric underneath. Here you go. Here you go, sweetie. I'm going to take all this fabric underneath, and I'm just going to clench it with one hand and just bring it up. And right now it's behind the hollow of this knee. And I'm just making sure it's nice and tight, holding it with my right hand. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Alright. So my right hand is holding both sides. And then with my left hand, I'm going to do the same thing. So make sure this is going behind the hollow of her knee. And then just bring it up and pass it to my right hand. And my right hand is positioned palm faced up. So I'm holding her just like this. I don't know if you can see that. And I'll show you in a minute. And then I'm going to take this tail that's on my left side and I'm going to bring it to the right. So both tails are on my right side at this point. Alright. Make sure we're positioned right. And again, I'm looking at my palm right now, so my palm and wrist are faced up. I'm going to take Harper. See how it's wrist up. And I'm just holding her, and we're ready to flip her on over my right shoulder. So, got her in my hand. Take all that baby, bring it over my right shoulder, still holding on to her, and I'm going to let these tails fall. Hey, sweetie. And I'm going to take the tail that's on the left. Shh. Hey, with that. There you go. And I'm going to take this tail and I'm going to bring it over my head. Alright. So now, hey honey, now I'm ready to bring her over. So she's on my back and I'm just going to lower her down some so she's not so high up. And I'm holding on to her butt as I do that. Alright, so that's probably a pretty good height right there. And the next thing I'm going to do is take the top rails and I'm going to pin them under my chin so she can't get away or sit up. And I'm going to make a seat by reaching between our bodies and pulling all this fabric down where it's nice and smooth on her back. And then tuck it up between us so she has a nice deep seat. And at this point, you can just finish off the carry however you do. And that's it. This is the Santa toss method of getting your baby on your back. I have got Harper on my hip with the wrap centered on her back. And I like to bring this part of the wrap over my right shoulder. Like that, to make it a little bit easier for me to scoot her on back. And then what I'm going to do, I'm holding on to her with my right hand. I'm going to lean to the right, still holding on to her. I'm going to let go with my left hand and go over her head. Grab a hold of her butt. And then I'm just going to scoot her around, bounce her up on my back, nice and high. And then bring this tail over my shoulder. And from here, you would just make sure the top rail is laying flat on her back. And I like to pin this between under my chin and pull all this fabric down and up between us. And then at this point, you would just finish off whatever carry you're doing. But this is the hip scoot method of getting your baby on your back. Works great when your kids are standing up, but since they're so small, you wouldn't be able to see them on camera. So I have her seated right here. It works the exact same way though. So I've got the wrap centered on her back right now, and I like to flip her on my right shoulder. So I'm going to take my right hand and I'm going to go under her arm just like this. Now I'm going to take my left hand and I'm going to go over. Hey. So we're basically crisscrossing your arms like that. And then I'm going to lift her up on my hand, on my arm, and then I'm just going to swing her onto my back like that. And at this point, you can just finish off the carry, how you do. So I'm going to lower her down some. Hey, Harper. And I'm going to take these top rails and I'm going to just pin them under my chin real quick and create a seat. By pulling all this fabric down and up between us. And then depending on what carry you're doing, you would just finish tying off. But this is it. This is the Superman toss. Look at your baby on your back.